Hi, it's Pena with Teens Want to Know. Today we're at the 2017 Writers Guild Awards. Today we're celebrating writers and their stories. Name the story which has impacted you the most and why.
That's an excellent question, and I will tell you the story that moved me the most. It was a book by James Agee called A Death in the Family. And when I was almost a teenager, I was 12 years old, my father died unexpectedly, God rest his soul. And this was a great book by a great American Pulitzer Prize winner that told the story of a young boy who lost his father. And it moved me all my life. It made me want to be a creative artist. And I found that through writing, a person could learn so much more about themselves and about life in general than oftentimes what they learn in their life experience. So I will tell this to your teen writers, as much fun as it is, and I'm on my iPhone all the time, and I do all that stuff that you kids do. But once in a while, take a little time to yourself and read a book you love, even if you do it on your Kindle or on your iPhone or however you do it. Yeah. Give yourself a few hours and just get immersed in a story. Learn something about other people through the magic of writing. Yeah. Okay? Good answer?
Yep.
Okay, now how do I get my hair blue like that? Because I'm sick of this white. How do I do it?
Well, you just dye it with a color. You find a color and dye it.
See, I didn't know that. Okay.
Well, thank you for talking to me.
My pleasure. What's your name?
Keira.
You're going to do very well. You got a future ahead of you.
Thank you.
I'm serious.
What's the question? Don't be nervous.
If you can go back.
And don't let me interrupt you.
If you can
just ask your question.
If you could go back in time and give your teen self one piece of advice, what would it be?
It's a great question. Can I give you multiple answers?
Yeah.
The first and the obvious is calm down, it's going to work out. The second would be always, always, always tell the truth. It's the cheapest way to go. It costs you less in the long run. Just tell the truth.
Yeah.
The third thing I would tell myself is that all those people you're looking at, they're just as frightened as you are. So walk on, walk on.
You're wonderful. What's your name?
Keira.
Keira. I'm Jeff. How old are you, Keira?
12.
Keira, let me just drink in your loveliness for a second. Keira, come here. Are we on camera together?
Hello.
Okay, so come on, Keira. I'm Jeff. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Well, you have a cheat sheet? You got some questions to ask me?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
What?
So today we are celebrating writers and their stories. Name the story which has impacted you the most and why.
The story which has impacted me most in life?
Yeah.
That's a great question, Keira. Is it K-I-R-A?
It's K-E-I-R-A.
K-E-I-R-A, Keira. A story. You know, off the top of my head, It's a Wonderful Life. You ever see that movie? Oh, you got to go see that movie. It's a Wonderful Life. Jimmy Stewart is in it. You may not know him either, but it's a Wonderful Life, and the theme of it is how all of our lives and what we choose to do impact so many other lives.
Yeah.
And if you do good and you are good, you're a gift. Good things happen. That's right. That's a good story. I like this year. You know that movie Patterson? Did you see Patterson? Jim Jarmusch movie. That's about a bus driver.
I don't really watch so many movies.
You don't? No. You're better off. Jim Jarmusch directed. Adam Driver from that show Girls that you love so much. Never mind. He writes poetry every day. He finds little artful, appreciative things, lovely things in just the most ordinary things every day, and he writes about them.
So, when did you first realize how powerful language is?
When did I first realize how powerful language is? It's a wonderful question also. Gee, I don't know. There's so many answers to that question. You know, at different stages you find out more deeply that it's powerful. And now I have a little boy. I just became a father a year and a half ago, and he doesn't talk yet, but almost, and it's transformed my view of language, my understanding of language, and my study of language, and passing on to him something, seeing how he is understanding it. It's quite magical.
Yeah. So if you can go back in time and give your teen self one piece of advice, what would it be?
Give my teen self one piece of advice. It's a good question. Just a second. Just one piece of advice. Well, I have to think about that. It's so deep. I don't know that I can come up with a good answer, but you've got me thinking, and I'll keep ruminating on it. Go to bed early. I'd say go to bed early. Get a good night's sleep. That makes the biggest difference in the next day's work. That's what I'd say.
Name the story which has impacted you the most and why.
Close Encounters. It showed me a new way of cinematic storytelling, and it gave me hope in humanity. At the same time, it gave me a lot of awe and wonder about alien life.
Yeah. When did you first realize how powerful language is?
Oh, early on. My father was ancient history professor at the Oklahoma University for about 30 years, and he constantly taught himself new languages. Oftentimes he would slip in some foreign word in a natural sentence, and I'd have to stop him and say, wait, one of those words wasn't English. And he would pause, and he would be like, well, I guess I accidentally used that because there's no English correspondent, for that.
Oh, cool. So if you can go back in time and give your teen self one piece of advice, what would it be?
Oh, Lord. It would probably be write down these lottery numbers.
When I was 16 years old, I watched Gone with the Wind back in Iran. It is still with me. I still remember it like I've seen it last night. And I should say that this film has had the most impact on me. It made me to become an actress. I knew I wanted to be an actress, but when I saw the movie, I was 16. I turned to my mother and I said, after this, I want to be an actress and I will be an actress. And I had to fight, but I did fight and finally became an actress.
Yeah. So, if you can go back in time and give your teen self one piece of advice, what would it be and why?
The best piece of advice that I heard from my own grandmother. When people are talking to you or asking you a question, before answering, think twice and then speak up.
My name is Dan Wilcox, and I am this year's recipient of the Writers Guild's Morgan Cox Award, which is an award given for people who've done a lot of guild service, which I have done.
So today we are celebrating writers and their stories. Name the story which has impacted you the most and why.
A story, someone else's story or one of my own? Someone else's?
Yeah.
That has impacted me. Well, this is strange. I'm going to name an English movie from the 50s that I guarantee you have not seen. Called I'm All Right, Jack, an English comedy that in some ways was about unions. But I thought it was a perfect comedy, and it's one of the things that made me want to enter the business. I wanted to do work that came out like that.
When did you first realize how powerful language is?
When I run across people who don't know how to use it. At the moment, we have a president who makes me feel how important language is.
If you can go back in...
You're going to use that, aren't you?
Absolutely.
You're going to send the police after me.
Oh my
I'm going to
God.
get deported, and I was born here.
National Guard.
Okay.
If you can go back in time and give your teen self one piece of advice, what would it be and why?
There are two women I would tell him not to marry. And I could have figured out all by myself the one whom I did marry was right here. I didn't need to be told that she would be right for me. But that's one. But you meant career-wise? I think, no, just in general? Oh, Lord. I think it would probably be career advice anyway. Don't be afraid of change. Don't be afraid of ending one job to go to another. I was fired from Sesame Street, and I remember being sad and terrified, but it freed me up to come to Los Angeles. Within 3 years, I was writing MASH. So it was obviously for the best. I just didn't know it at the time.
Today we are celebrating writers and their stories. Name the story which has impacted you the most and why.
Oh my goodness. You know, I put this on my college application. My favorite book of all time is Richard Adams' Watership Down. It's about rabbits, but it's a rich metaphor for life.
Wizard of Oz, no question.
Oh.
I memorized every line of the Scarecrow growing up. I love the Scarecrow.
When did you first realize how powerful language is?
Oh, man, my mother I grew up in Birmingham, Alabama, and my mother always made a point of taking us to see local plays, and I just fell in love with the arts through that. Was moved as early as 5 years old watching plays in my hometown.
I got a 9-month-old baby. He just said "dada," so that's when I learned to say like words.
Better answer.
If you can go back in time and give your teen self one piece of advice, what would it be?
Relax.
I would also take that advice. It's all good.
Yeah, chill out.
If you can go back in time and give your teen self one piece of advice, what would it be?
Oh man, that's a great question. I would tell myself to not be in such a rush, just to enjoy being a kid without so many responsibilities. Adulthood will come in time and have fun. What about you?
Yeah, I would say keep working really hard, but also don't stress out too much and enjoy being young.
You know, this show on Amazon Prime is really good. And we were nominated for the best comic episode. So the pilot, watch the pilot, and if you don't get hooked and want more, I would be surprised. And we're doing another season, so we start working a couple of weeks on season 2 of One Mississippi. And very excited about it.
So today we are celebrating writers and their stories. Name the story which has impacted you the most and why.
Story? Well, I have to say that the story of Tig Notaro's, the story of her being diagnosed with breast cancer, her mother dying, being diagnosed with breast cancer and losing her girlfriend in the same month, and then going on stage at the Largo and turning it into a stand-up comedy it's an amazing story. And then it was turned into a pilot that cast me as her father, so that had a very big impact on my life. But it's an amazing story.
One of my personal favorites from the last few years is The Wrestler with Mickey Rourke. Beautiful, funny, heartbreaking. Once you guys get at a certain age, you can watch it, but it's a little too old for the young audience. You know, there's some dirty words in there I don't want you guys hearing.
So when did you first realize how powerful language is?
When I was able to make people laugh at a young age, that's when it first kind of hit me that you can really, really do stuff with your words. And it helps people, if you're able to use it the right way, you can help people kind of handle the truth. It makes some of the crazy things in life a little easier to handle, a little easier to deal with. You get made fun of at school, but your friend can like poke you on the shoulder and be like, hey, it's not this, right? And you're like, you can laugh and you can kind of release that tension that's inside of you. So for a young audience, just keep laughing, keep watching things that make you laugh and make you smile. Keep rocking it. The world can be tough, but always find a way to smile.
Yeah. So if you can go back in time and give your teen self one piece of advice, what would it be and why?
It would be, life is not as easy as it seems. You're like, oh, I got all these good things. I got in this college that I wanted to. Like, life's going to be easy from here on out. Then life will punch you in the face and be like, okay, life is pretty difficult. I'm gonna keep going forward, but just realize you're gonna have to wade through a river of mud to get what you want. This is Nick Turner, and you're watching Teens Want to Know. What?
And teens want to know.
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 Hello, my name is Jeff Goldblum, and you're watching Teens Want to Know.
Can we get a picture together?
Watch this.
Well, actually, Pena and Rena were both there.
Thank you, Keira.